and Highway 113. That's that steep corner kind of near Carl F. Stotts & Sons, to give you some idea of where that is. Our crew at the scene says both highways directions are still closed in all directions there, 113 and 19. Avoid that area. A med flight helicopter just left the scene. Still unclear how many cars involved there. One of those vehicles did catch fire after the crash. We don't know yet how many people were injured or what the extent of those injuries are.
If you're headed to trial in a civil case or are involved in a criminal case at the federal level, get ready to wait.
The federal automatic spending cuts, known as the Sequester, have taken a big chunk out of the legal system's budget.
And that means fewer attorneys and resources. NBC 15's Madeline Anderson has more on the impact on U.S. district courts in Wisconsin.
The Sixth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution guarantees criminal defendants the right to a speedy trial and an effective lawyer if they are unable to afford one. But as these sequester cuts take their toll on the federal justice system, those legal rights could be threatened. It's sink or swim for the Wisconsin's U.S. public defenders. The agency whose lawyers represent criminal defendants with federal charges is drowning in caseload.
And we're going to paddle as hard as we can, as fiercely as we can. And for a while, we'll be able to keep up. But at some point, from the sheer extra exertion of dog paddling, we're going to fall behind.
Daniel Stiller says the Federal Defender Services of Wisconsin is at a unique disadvantage because it already faced less funding at the beginning of this fiscal year than it had last year. That was followed by another 5% reduction this winter from the federal judiciary. Then Sequester took an added 5% in March. As a result, 6 of 25 employees were laid off in one day. Those still working will have to take 22 unpaid furlough days before October to absorb the rest of the cuts. Stiller says that means wrongful convictions will increase and people will spend more time locked up than they should.
You get an overworked, under-resourced lawyer. The risk of error on behalf of the accused increases.
On top of that, Clerk of Court Peter Oppenier says the clerk's office of the U.S. District Court of Western Wisconsin faces a 4% cut this fiscal year.
The Speedy Trial Act requires us to process those cases within a certain period of time.
He says either trials will take more time or there will be fewer cases going to trial altogether.
If the federal public defender gets to a point where they're unable to, where there's delays and they're unable to come for the hearings for the criminal defendants, that can impact on our civil caseload. That's where we'll start to see an impact.
Now, the U.S. district courts do have some ability to give cases to private practice lawyers, but the fear with that is there could be a decrease in the quality of representation because public defenders are specialized in this type of law.